Hello everyone and welcome back to the FM Connection Football Manager Content Creator Prediction League contest thing. Anyway, my name is Anders and you can find me at AndersBazFM on Twitter, and please subscribe to my channel AndersBazFM on YouTube. You'd be doing me a huge favour and you'd see fantastic content with this beautiful face. Anyway, today I was going to outsource my predictions to Football Manager versus mode, but it's not working. So instead we're going to go to a wheel spinner, which is just fantastic. So hopefully now you can see the wheel spinner and we'll go through today's game. So first up we've got Southampton against Chelsea. So this first spin is going to be Southampton score, and Southampton are going to score. Wow, this is going to be a big scoring game. Southampton 5. That's good. Let's spin again to see what Chelsea have got. So it's 5 goals to Southampton. I'm sure this is not going to work. Hang on, we could have an absolute classic here. Hold the phone. Southampton 5. Chelsea 5. That is going to be a thrilling contest. Next up, we've got Watford hosting Leeds. So maybe we'll get a bit of a lower scoring. Maybe I shouldn't have put so many big numbers on there. Watford are going to get 1 goal. They're the hosts. Can Leeds beat them? Can Leeds get 5? It's a big goal scoring day. It's close. It's going to be a victory for Leeds. It's going to be a 2-1 victory for Leeds United away at Watford. Next up, this is fun, isn't it? This is the sort of thing you're looking for today. We've got Arsenal against Brighton. Sorry, I've got my list of games down here on a notepad. Arsenal are only going to get 1 goal against Brighton. This could open the door wide for Brighton and Hove Albion to get a big victory. It's going to be a big victory as well. Look at that. 5-1 to Brighton away from home at the Emirates. You would not expect that in a normal game, would you? Right. Villa Spurs is the next game. Another big score. Another big score. Aston Villa 4. And let's see what Spurs do. Can they get anywhere near? I should have really put more smaller scores on here to make it a little bit more realistic, because it's going to end up being 4-4, isn't it? 4-4. Villa 4. Spurs 4. We've had some cracking games today. Next up, we've got Norwich Burnley. And now what will happen here is if Burnley are predicted to win, I'll change it. So it's going to be 2 goals to Norwich. Okay, Norwich 2. What's happening with Burnley? They can't get another victory, surely. I don't think they can. Definitely not. Right, this is good. This is good. Burnley 0. It's not rigged, honest. This is... It's the wheel knows. The wheel knows. So was that 2-0? 2-0 to Norwich. Right. Manchester City against Liverpool. The big game of the day. Oh. And it's at the Etihad. And Manchester City are being held to a 0 score. So it's Manchester City 0, Liverpool, drumroll please, oh, it's going to be a low scorer, this one. Oh, this is a more realistic score, I'll be honest. Man City 0, Liverpool 1. There we go. Right, there you have it. They're my predictions. I'll just head out now, shall I? Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time. On to the next guy.
Hello, my name's Tony, FMDNA, and these are my predictions for this week. But if you want to check out my channel, will be in the description below. That would be great. Right, so we have Southampton versus Chelsea. Southampton are hit and miss. Chelsea are very miss at the moment, but they're going to come good today, even though they're away from home. I'm going to say 3-1 to Chelsea. Next up, we've got Watford versus Leeds, and I just feel sorry for Leeds. So I'm going to give Leeds the win. I'm going to say 2-0 to Leeds. Arsenal versus Brighton, as you already know. If you don't know, I'm a Spurs fan, so I want Brighton to win. Brighton do normally cause Arsenal some trouble, but not today. I'm going to say a 2-0 comfortable win for Arsenal. Then we got Aston Villa versus Spurs. I've got to go for Spurs. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 3-2. Spurs are away from home. We're going to score, but we're also going to concede a couple of goals. So it's going to be close, 3-2. Norwich versus Burnley. Wow. What can I say? 2-0 home win for Norwich. Then we've got Man City versus Liverpool. The game of the weekend. Everyone's looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Even though I don't support either team, I'm going to go for a 2-0 surprise away win for Man City. They're my predictions. Like I said, check out my channel. We'll be in the description below. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next week for some more predictions. See you then.
What is up, guys? See you here. It is time for our predictions once again. We have 6 games today. Let's get straight into it and see who we have up first. Last weekend, Chelsea made a mockery of English football, losing in such a disgraceful way to Brentford. So, yeah, something has to change, doesn't it? They have to make everything normal again. So I'm going 2-1 Chelsea. Sorry, Southampton, but normality must resume. Next up, we have Watford versus Leeds at Vicarage Road. And I'm going with a Watford 1-0 win. I think it's going to be a close affair, but we have no strikers. And every time I say we're going to win, we do tend to do extremely poorly. So, in my opinion, Watford 1-0. Roy Hodgson, he does what he does, doesn't he? Boring game of football. They'll break us up in once because we cannot help but try and attack everybody. But yeah, 1-0 Watford. Next up, we have Arsenal versus Brighton. I went 1-0 Arsenal. Trust the process. Arteta must remain because we are going to get absolutely hilarious things like the Palace game where the Arsenal fan base falls apart. So yeah, roll on Arteta. Next up, Villa versus Spurs. Spurs obviously come off the back of that Newcastle game, and Villa are, I don't even know what Villa are. Some games they look unplayable. Next game they look absolutely atrocious. So I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs. Bit of confidence after that win against Newcastle. Hopefully carry them over into this game. Norwich v Burnley. I'm going 1-0 to Burnley. Norwich a very, very poor side, and it is almost time for Dyche time to take full effect and get Burnley out of that relegation spot. City versus Liverpool, probably two of the best teams in English football, if not world football, and I do think it's going to be a draw. Personally, I believe Liverpool have a little bit more of an edge on City, just because I think Liverpool really, really want to win that title again. But 2-2, nothing to separate them. That is a banana skin, isn't it? So they are what I have predicted, and a bit of safe, to be honest with you. One's about 1-0, it's because I think Arsenal will win, but I don't know how many goals. So 1-0, I'll get a point, won't I, Phil? I'll get a point. But thank you guys, and I'll catch you next time.
Hi guys, it's Andy here, otherwise known as A-Bomb FM. Here's my predictions for this weekend's games. There's one game I'm really keeping an eye on, terrified about it, but let's see what we're going with this weekend. First up, Southampton versus Chelsea. Saints drawing 1-1 against Leeds United last weekend. Meanwhile, Chelsea have lost their last two home games. A shock loss to Brentford 4-1 last weekend. Who expected that? And then Real Madrid with a 3-1 win midweek in the Champions League. Surely we'd expect some sort of response from Chelsea here. So I'm going to back Chelsea to get all 3 points at St Mary's. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Watford lost 2-0 to Liverpool in the early kickoff last weekend, and they're going to host Leeds United. Watford, of course, fighting for survival in the Premier League, and Leeds now, of course, under their new American manager. It's a difficult one to call this. I feel like it might be a bit of a war of attrition here between Watford and Leeds. I'm going to go for a goalless draw, 0-0. Arsenal host Brighton. The Gunners were thoroughly beaten by a very good Crystal Palace side on Monday night, and they're taking on the goal-shy Brighton, and much like Chelsea, I'm expecting a response from Arsenal here, and I'm expecting 3 points at the Emirates. It's going to be a tight one, though. I don't fancy Brighton to score. They've been very goal-shy, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Arsenal there. Just about scrape the win, I think. Aston Villa host Tottenham Hotspur, a side that seem to have found their feet with Antonio Conte now, and has made some great signings in the January window with Bentancur and Kulusevski. I fancy Tottenham to get the away win here. I think they've been really, really impressive recently. I don't think Villa are going to get the points here. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Spurs away from home. Norwich versus Burnley, a Sunday game. A real relegation scrap this one. And Burnley did manage to get the win against Everton in the midweek game. Again, I think this is going to be a difficult one to call. I don't think a draw really helps either side, but I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1. And lastly, I think the match everyone's looking forward to this weekend, Manchester City versus Liverpool. Just 1 point separating them at the top of the table. I am, of course, going to be supporting Liverpool, so I've got to show a bit of bias and go for the away win. Lots of people are saying the title's going to be won or lost with this fixture. I'm not too sure. There's still a lot of football left to go, but these are the two best sides in the country. And it is so close to call, but I've got to show bias towards my side. So I'm going to go for a Liverpool win, 2-1 at the Etihad. I've got to back my boys. I have to back my boys, and hopefully we can get the result and get top of the table and get that 2-point lead. But there's still a lot of games to go, and that title race is going to go down to the wire, I think. So those are my predictions. I need a good week in this prediction contest. We haven't really got off to a good start, so hopefully we can get something right. I don't think I've got a perfect score yet, so, it'd be nice to maybe get one this weekend. If you want to see more on my channel, of course, link is in the description. We're currently unemployed in our save, so I think the next video you'll see, or the most recent video you'll see if you click on my channel, will be us looking for a new club. That's it from me. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Corgi Blues, and these are my FM connection predictions for the weekend ahead. First game we have is Southampton v Chelsea. I don't think anybody could have predicted Chelsea would be thrashed by Brentford 4-1, but it happened. We all seen it. I think because of that, Chelsea are going to be looking to bite back. Obviously, Southampton, I think, are going to, unfortunately, be on the receiving end of that. I think Chelsea are going to win. I don't think it'll be as comfortable as many would think. Southampton are at home. I'm going to go 2-1 to Chelsea. Second game we have is Watford versus Leeds. Leeds are picking up a wee bit of form. They've got a few wins since Bielsa went out, and the new guy whose name I can't pronounce yet has come in. I think before the Southampton game they had won 2 or 3 in a row, and they got a draw, if I remember, with Southampton. I can see them. I mean, Watford are per. No offense to Watford, but they are a per team. They're going to go down. I think Leeds are going to win this. I think it might be quite tight. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Leeds. Next game we have is Arsenal versus Brighton. Arsenal, much like Chelsea, on the end of a 3-goal defeat from the weekend, they're going to want to bite back as well. Brighton are away. It's obviously being held at the Emirates. I think Arsenal will be too strong for them. I can see Arsenal win this. We'll go 2-0. Fourth game we have is Aston Villa versus Spurs. I think the form Spurs are on at the moment, and I'm a Spurs fan, I see it week in, week out. They are picking up. They are in good form now. They're certainly getting in amongst the goals. It's a very strange occasion that Spurs would score 5 and Harry Kane wouldn't score any of them. So the whole team is contributing. They are playing better. I don't think it's going to be that comfortable. I can't see Spurs winning it. I quite fancy a 5-goal thriller, a 3-2, but I'm going to say 2-1 to Spurs for that. Fifth game we have is Norwich versus Burnley. Definitely a relegation scrap. I think Burnley, they've been there, done that. They're going to prove to be too strong. They'll pull themselves out of it. I think Burnley are going to beat Norwich. I'm going to say a tight game again. I'm going to say 1-0 Burnley. And finally, the big game of the weekend is, of course, Man City at home to Liverpool. I mean, with 7-8 games left this season to go, this could potentially be a title-deciding game. Man City are at home. Both teams are doing very well. Both teams had wins in the Champions League in midweek. I think it's going to be very, very tight. I think if anybody's going to win it, it's going to be by 1 goal. But I am going to go for a draw on this one. I think there are goals in it. I think 1-1 might be a bit more exciting than that. Both. Do you know what? Let's do it. We'll go with 2-2 for a draw in that game. And that is my predictions for this weekend. As the previous weeks have gone, they're probably all wrong. I've probably got everything wrong. I'm second bottom. This is Adam's chance to go ahead of me, so it is, because I'm doing so bad. But we'll see how we go. It's all a bit of fun at the end of the day. But thank you very much for listening. I hope you have enjoyed it. You can check me out at Corgi Blues on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also check my YouTube channel for my Life After Lasso series, where we take AFC Richmond in the Premier League and try to win some trophies. So that's all from me. Thank you very much and have a nice weekend.
It's me, Effin Fizzy, and I'm back again with another round of Premier League predictions. Hoping to bounce back after last week's absolutely abysmal showing from me, picking up only 1 point from 5 predictions. Hoping to bounce back this week with these 6. So without further ado, this is what I've got. So in the first game, we got Southampton at home to Chelsea. Southampton with no winning 5 and Chelsea picking up only 1 defeat in the last 15 in 90 minutes. In the last 6 head-to-heads between Southampton and Chelsea, there's been a minimum of 2 goals. Taking that into account, Southampton 0, Chelsea 2. In the second game, we've got Watford at home to Leeds. Watford with only 1 win in the last 6 and Leeds going 3 unbeaten. 2 wins and a draw. Starting to finally tick a little bit under Jesse Marsch. I feel like we'll be a little bit too strong for this Watford side. So Watford 1, Leeds United 2. In the third game, we've got Arsenal at home to Brighton. Arsenal with 7 wins in the last 9 and Brighton with 6 defeats in the last 7. I feel like that tells its own story. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. In the fourth game, we've got Aston Villa at home to Tottenham. Aston Villa losing 3 in a row and Tottenham winning 4 of the last 5, finally finding a little bit of consistency. I feel like they'll continue this form and keep piling on the misery for Villa. I'm going to go with Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3. In the 5th game, we've got Norwich versus Burnley. Norwich with no win in 9, Burnley with no win in 5. I feel like you can see nothing other than a draw, so I'm going Norwich 1, Burnley 1. And in the last game, the big game, the Super Sunday showdown, the possible title decider, Manchester City versus Liverpool. I've picked apart this game. Man City in terrific form, Liverpool in terrific form. There's only 2 things I can put down to my decision here. One being home advantage, and the second thing being I've got a very funny feeling that Jack Grealish is going to pop up with a real moment of importance in this game and shush down the haters who have been slagging him off because of his price tag. I feel like he's going to have a real impact on this game and therefore have a big impact on possibly which way the title goes. So for me, Manchester City 2, Liverpool 1. So to run that back, Southampton 0, Chelsea 2, Watford 1, Leeds 2, Arsenal 2, Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Norwich 1, Burnley 1, and Manchester City 2, Liverpool 1. They're my predictions. Drop me a follow on Twitter at FM_Fizzy. Follow my journey. Drop me a tweet. It's all good. Let's see how we get on. Come on, Leeds.
Hello, everybody. Frankly, FM84 here. You know what time of the week it is. It's that time once again where we bring you some EPL predictions. It's game week 32 and we have some more games to predict. So let's get straight on into these. We've got Southampton against Chelsea. So Southampton are a bit of a roller coaster team. They're up, they're down, they're round and round. Can't really gauge what kind of team they are. I think they are probably value for where they are in the league. Not in a relegation battle, not pushing too far up the table either. Probably about middle of the pack. Chelsea, on the other hand, they have aspirations for the top 4. And pretty much like last week, I thought that Chelsea would just be too strong and would have blew Brentford away. Brentford, though, turned up, came to play, battered Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea, though, will lose 2 games back to back. I know they've got a lot of off-the-field issues going on. Things kind of falling apart at the end of the season. But they're too strong. They should be beating Southampton. I think they will win 2-0. The next game is Watford against Leeds. These are 2 teams that find themselves at the wrong end of the table. Leeds in the past couple of weeks after a manager change have started picking up points. They are moving themselves away from the relegation zone gradually. Watford find themselves right in it despite turning in some good performances against the bigger teams. They seem to struggle when it comes to teams in and around them. And for that reason, I think Leeds will be too strong. I think they will win this game 2-0. The next game, Arsenal versus Brighton. Arsenal are another team that you just cannot predict at all. They have one of those seasons where they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. Just when you think they're stringing a run of games together and they're looking a bit more convincing, along comes a performance like they turned in against Crystal Palace. Take nothing away from Crystal Palace. They played absolutely fantastically, but Arsenal were atrocious. They really were really bad. And I can't see them turning in another performance like that. Brighton are a team where they were flying high early on in the season. They kind of fallen away a little bit. They're picking up points where they can. Their managers had issues with the fans and all sorts of things going on. I think Arsenal, though, will be too strong. I'm going to back Arsenal to win 2-1. The next game, Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Villa are another team who are going through a bit of a sticky patch. Gerrard came in, he had that new manager effect. They were winning games, playing decent football. All of that across the past couple of weeks has kind of been stripped back. They weren't impressive against Wolves. Tottenham, on the other hand, I think are starting to turn the screw. They are pushing towards that kind of top 4 position. I think that if they keep playing the way they did against Newcastle, where they went behind and come back and absolutely obliterate them, I think Tottenham will be in good stead. I think they will be too strong for Aston Villa here. I'm going to go with Spurs to win 3-1. Norwich versus Burnley is another game. 2 teams at the wrong end of the table. Another relegation battle. Can't really separate these 2 teams. Norwich have been poor since the start of the season. Had that bit of a new manager effect like with Aston Villa when they took Villa's old manager Dean Smith on. Kind of flattened out in the past couple of weeks. Burnley scrapping for survival. Sean Dyche desperately trying to keep them in the Premier League. I think this one, though, is going to go against them both. I can see this one being a 1-1 draw. The final game then is the one that everybody is talking about. I gave away on the channel a couple of weeks ago that I am a Liverpool fan. So obviously I am not going to be backing against Liverpool in this fixture. Sky Sports have been billing it up for what seems like the past 3 months. Everybody had this date in their diary. Plus, it's my birthday. So hopefully it's not going to end in tears. It has a realistic chance of ending in tears, but who knows? I'm going to go with a Liverpool 2-1 victory. I think we can go to the Etihad. I think we can beat them in their own backyard. I think Liverpool have that strong attack, whereas City are going to be missing Ruben Diaz. Although they turned in a good performance against Atletico Madrid, how much of it was taken out of them? They had to make changes. They didn't have the luxury of maybe Liverpool when we took off Salah, Thiago, Mane, saving those kinds of players and bringing in the rotation. I just think that we're going to be a little bit fresher, a little bit hungrier, and I'm going to go with Liverpool to win the game 2-1. So then, a recap of the results. I think that Southampton will lose to Chelsea 2-0. Leeds will win 2-0 against Watford. Arsenal will win 2-1 against Brighton. Villa to lose 3-1 to Spurs, Norwich and Burnley to be a 1-1 draw, and Manchester City to lose to Liverpool 2-1. Right then, before I pass you on to the next person, firstly, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button right here on the FM Connection. We bring you hints, tips, wonderkids, and a lot more. Tactics videos are going down well, so check those out. And also, if you want to pop across to my channel, the link is in the description down below. Everybody is welcome. We are closing in on 1,400 subscribers, and we are moving closer to that 1,500 target for the next big one. But that's enough of me waffling on. Good luck to everybody this week. Fingers crossed. I'll be top of the table come Monday. So, on to the next person.
How's it going, everyone? GG513 here. You can find me on YouTube, as always, at GG513. On Twitter, it's GG513FM. Come and say hello. Why don't you? Anyways, prediction time. Last week, it went bloody well. Somehow managed to progress up the league table, and now I'm sitting quite comfortably. But I'm after that top spot. So, let's get into the games. The first game is Southampton against Chelsea. Now, Southampton haven't won in their last 5 games, and I can't see that changing. Chelsea need to turn the tables around after a poor performance in Europe, so I'm going to go for a solid 2-0 victory for Chelsea. Then we're on to Watford and Leeds, and if we're honest, both teams, trash. It's going to be a 0-0 draw. Don't need to waste any breath on that one. Now we're on to Arsenal against Brighton, and similarly to Southampton, Brighton haven't won in their last 5 games, and Arsenal, well, they're not too bad. So I'm going to go for an Arsenal victory. I think I'm going to go for a 3-0 Arsenal victory. Smith Rowe, he might cause some problems this weekend. Next up is Villa against Spurs. And Tottenham, well, Harry Kane at least, is on fire. And I expect that to continue. Because Aston Villa under Gerrard, they're kind of regressing ever so slightly. So I'm going to go for a Spurs victory here. A 2-0 victory. A nice clean sheet for the Londoners. On to the next game. And the next game is the biggest game of the weekend. It's Norwich against Burnley. Oh, wait. You don't care about that one either? Yeah, me either. It's going to be a 0-0 ball draw. Both teams are rubbish. Get them out of the league. Terrible. 0-0. And the actual biggest game of the weekend is City against Liverpool. And on current form, Liverpool, well, they should be favourites. They've won all 5 of their last games, and City, well, they haven't done that. But I can't bring myself to say Liverpool are going to win, because whoever wins this game is going to be favourite for the league title, and I just don't want Liverpool to win the league. So I'm hoping and I'm praying and I'm wishing for a Man City victory here. 2-1 to City, and I'm going to back my boy again. Phil Foden, he's going to get the winner. Anyways, as always, I'm going to give a quick disclaimer. If you are following my suggestions for some crazy idea to support your coupon, don't do it. Don't do it. My suggestions are rubbish. But hopefully not this week. I'm going for the win. Straight edge in first place. I'm coming for you, fella.